Hello everyone and welcome back to the video. Today we're going to be doing a rec review from our boy Twits. We've shown this guy on the channel about a couple months ago. He was in a 2v2 Black Forest game, which is a very nice one. And this time you're going to be finding him in a 1v1 up against Flint Beastwood. Very nice names on both sides. He's at 1150, our boy's going to be 1170. So quite a solid range. I think a lot of you guys watching are around this range, plus or minus 200 elo. It's definitely the range with the most amount of players. So I think it's going to be very beneficial. Whether you're a bit above or a bit below, there's going to be some things that you can pick up on. And even if you're like a high level player, keep in mind, this is being reviewed by an official 3000 elo player. The only one in the history of Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. So I'm just saying, because I'm reviewing it, you can always benefit no matter what your elo is. Okay, I didn't put this in to brag about me being 3k. This is definitely just because I want you guys to know that there's benefit in this rec review. So we're going to go ahead and take a look, see what Twits does well, see what he does wrong. And I'm also going to add a little bit of entertainment commentary, because honestly, Twits is a hilarious guy, and he's always cracking me up on stream. So I feel like I got to bring some banter back to him in this rec review. So let's see what we can do here. And let's enjoy it. He's picking up the Khmer, and I'm not sure if this is random, if he plays the Khmer consistently, but I guess we'll be able to tell what's what. So far, a pretty good build. So very nice. He's gonna go with the 2 on wood. Has a bit of a weird map. The woodland, that woodland choice is a bit far, but I guess everything is a little bit far as far as woodlands go. Houses are a bit too far as well. We're gonna pause here, and this is already what I consider to be the first mistake of the game. Going out here, guys, to wall. This is way too far. Like, you would never see me doing this. It's about 2 screens away. He's been scrolling for half an hour to find this villa here to make some houses. I don't mind the 2 house strats, but I think you should make it right here. Connect this wood line right around here, wrap around the berries nicely. Because if you do it here, it's not really leading up into any wall. Like, what, you're going to wall here, then come over here and wall here, and then go down here and wall. Like, this is on the other side of the map. If he comes here with like scouts and starts trying to break in, he's gonna break through the house before you can react usually. So you want your wall, especially in feudal age, to be tighter. Remember, your main goal is to just fully wall your base. It's not to grab map control. This is more like a castle age / imperial age wall, where you want to secure some map. Maybe you got a castle on the hill, stone wall this, and secure this half of the map for yourself. This is not something you do from dark age. Okay. So I'd much rather him do a smaller wall, and you'll see that this will be pretty ineffective later. I haven't seen the rec, but I imagine this would be quite ineffective for him later on if he does commit to that kind of a wall. Other than that, though, pretty solid Dark Age. 0 idle TC so far, which is quite nice. Scouting's been okay, but he's going to send a scout back to go get some deer now. Yeah, scouting's been good, actually. He found all his sheep. Things are looking, yeah, pretty solid. Alright, now he's going to go ahead and go for his second boar. And he should just wait here. He's gonna have the. This is why I don't really like the 2 houses that much, because when you have a bit of idle time on that mill, but not a big deal. He just drops off and gets the mill down. Okay. All right, excellent. Also, no, nothing. It's fine. Also, nothing. Also, we're good. Okay, deer coming in. I really like what he did there. He actually queued a bunch of villagers beforehand, so he doesn't have to queue while he's doing deer, which is nice. Okay, very good. One thing I advise people is just to move the deer off to the side, by the way, in Dark Age. Alright, he's gonna send another vill here over to the wood. He'll pick up loom, and then he'll probably go up to feudal age already queued. Very nice. Alright, so now he has to send a few more to wood. He's Khmer, so he doesn't need the barracks, so he needs less wood, generally speaking. Alright, at this point we can probably fast forward. There's not too much going on. I don't like that you have 25 seconds of idle TC time, though. You gotta cut that out. Cut that out! No idle TC time around here, guys. I take it very seriously. And you gotta send more to wood. 8 on wood is absolutely brilliant. With Khmer, it means you'll float a bit of wood, actually, because you don't need the barracks. But what I like to do with that extra wood is just wall up earlier. Let me give a pro tip with Khmer, actually. If you open up scouts versus scouts with Khmer, and it's not the case right now, I'm actually getting men at arm rushed. Scout for scout as Khmer, you want a full wall as fast as possible, because that's how you don't die to spears forward from enemy. And that is the best way to do it. Okay, Twits is going to abandon his woodline entirely, or his mill entirely, as he sees the militia. I am completely fine with this, but we hit feudal age. We got to get a building going. So he's going to go over for some archers now as he sees the drush. Okay, this is not men at arms, it's actually just a drush. But he's going to go stable. Oh, this is a classic mistake, actually. Yeah, hold on, this is the classic mistake. And listen up, because I've seen so many people do this. I've actually gotten a question on my Patreon Discord recently. someone was asking me, like, if I go scout and my opponent goes for like militia or men at arms, do I just switch to archers right away? The answer is no. If you committed to a stable, which he already did here, and you see the men at arms come, it's not like you need to go to archers. I always say archers counter men at arms. First of all, this is a drush, so this is easy to clean up with just scouts. But even if it was men at arm, you don't need to switch to archers if you already committed to the stable. What you should do instead is just commit to the stable and then fight with vills and defend yourself against the infantry. So in this case, you'll see how bad this is in a second. But if you're going to go over to gold now with like 6 villagers, that's 6 villagers that are not on food. He has 0 on food right now. But he could do with the 6 villagers. You can seed this farm, then 2 more, and then the other 3 you can just go to wood, helping him seed more farms faster. All right. But now, by sending them all to gold, you're going to see he's going to start floating gold. He's not going to have enough wood to make farms and make the range. And he's going to make maximum 3 scouts. Okay? And I just don't see this as a good idea. We're also going 7 to gold, which I think it's a bit too much here. So, highly recommend for Twitch and anyone else here, that if you go scouts and you already made the stable, don't switch it. Commit to it, alright? So these guys should probably stay on defense until you clear this up. Otherwise, it could get pretty messy. Unless you want to go forward and put some pressure. Both options can work. Also, you are Khmer, by the way. You can use houses. Make a house in your woodline and use it to house hop, by the way. That's why I think you might be doing random on Khmer. So this is the situation. We're getting our woodline harassed. We're on gold with 7 villagers. Those 7 villagers, if we don't spend that gold, by the way, it's basically like they're dead or like they're idle, okay? Because that gold is just going to sit in the stockpile. We actually have no way to spend it. Ooh, we're going to get bloodlines. And then what? We have no food. Yeah, so this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I hope you can see logically how little sense this makes. Because now we're going to have so much gold. Alright? And we're not going to have any way to spend it. So when I say stick to the strat you commit to it. Oh, nice house hopping. Good stuff, brother. Cleared this up. Very nice. And you went for the offense. So you're actually doing... Like, you're playing very well. But you just had, like, some really big mistake there with going to gold. But everything else has been solid. And you're going to be able to get a nice attack with 3 bloodline scouts, which is actually quite solid. Your opponent's going market blacksmith, so he's... That mining camp is tough to look at even. So he's not in the best position either. He's not in the best shape. Twits, what are you going to do with the gold? Like, you give me ideas. Like, I don't... What can we do? We already got bloodlines. There's nothing to spend it on. And so imagine you're in this situation. Instead of the 400 gold that we have just sitting there, imagine we had 400 food. Or 300 food, 100 wood, right? Or even like 200 food. Whatever ratio you want. Wouldn't that be just way better? Wouldn't that be an extra 3 scouts on the field? Which could then kill the spear and start harassing the woodline? You know what I mean? So by getting everything to gold early, you've completely ruined your game. But let's see. Let's see. It's not like we completely lost here. It's just that it's going to be, very inefficient. And now you're sending bills to wood because you're actually lacking wood to make farms, even though what you really need here is food. And, okay, you finally realized, this gold situation getting a little out of hand, and you have to take some off and start making some farms, okay? Which is good. And I think here you might make a blacksmith, right? Or a market. You're a market kind of guy. What are you going to do? What are you going to do here? Markets? Market right here? House palace set. Okay. Fair enough. Good. Nice. Looking. Hey, you're playing quite well. Like, this is very solid. And I get forced back by a spear. So, at this point, as Khmer, by the way, we basically just want to try to play it towards castle. And I say this for everyone. Whoever gets faster castle wins Arabia games in, like... I don't have a stats here. I'm putting it out of my ass. But I would say you win at, like, 80% of games if you get faster castle age. And the reason for that... I should make a video about this. But the reason for that... is that Castle Age is the only age, by the way, that you can pull ahead without attacking your opponent by adding town centers. Think about how powerful that is, by the way. That you can pull ahead without attacking your opponent. And on top of that, you have the choice to attack him with stronger units, with siege, with extra tech, etc. But you can pull ahead with, like, significantly, not just an eco upgrade. You can actively pull ahead in bill count because you have access to extra town centers, okay? Except the Cubans and 2TC. I know you guys are going to comment about that. A loophole in my system. Okay, so now use the market to, use the gold. A lot of people would say that's bad play. I think that's good. You recognize there's a problem, you're floating gold, and you fixed it. Now, hopefully with this rack, I'm showing you how to fix the root of the problem rather than just like put a band-aid on it. But right now the market is a band-aid, and that's okay. So here, Toots, I want to ask you something. I need you to. By the way, opponent's making a lot of spears, but I like to do in this situation. Scouts, if you're making, you see like a lot of spears. I see this MBL makes like, you make like 3 scouts, MBL makes like 8 spears. So what you do against someone like that, you just go a few scouts and then you switch to CA, 2-3 range CA in castle, and he just dies. And not MBL, he's better than that. He goes Scorpion defense, he turtles for 35 minutes and then dies. But usually people will just die if they make like 8 spears, and you get faster castle into CA or into crossbow and you just roll them. Okay. Okay, this is fantastic. I was going to ask you earlier, Twits. Like, you have a Khmer farm bonus, or farms work faster. You stopped at 9. Get rookie numbers. You got to get like 18 farms, like 16 farms as fast as possible. That's how you can get the faster cast time. But even still, with a little bit of a market, you know, despite all the idle time, we're going to be up faster. Which is good. Now I want to see what you do with that faster up. We're going to go ahead and fast forward a little bit because there's really not much happening here. Yeah, you know, if you're gonna commit to these high walls, at least you didn't do them right away. That's good. We got some scouts. Opponent's gonna commit to double stable. We see this, by the way. Oh, we forgot our eco upgrades. Ay, ay, ay. I guess I can't blame you because you had a little bit of panic earlier, but that's fine. Yeah, by the way, like, had we not had like the go to gold situation, you could have been up at like literally 19 minutes if you just clean up like your idle TC and you don't go to gold early and start floating it. You can cook up like, you can be in castlage, sorry, not cook up, be in castlage at 19 minutes with Khmer. It's really good. And you would have had extra scouts and whatnot. There's a lot more potential in this game. And you're playing well, like, again, you killed the spears, killed the village. This is all very good. I give you a lot of credit. Okay. Okay. As a 3000 ELO player, you can consider me impressed. That was some clean micro, my man. Keeping the scout alive. This is what I like to see. So again, you have micro like that, but you're still 1100, you know? Then the situation at home has to get better. What are you walling, Twits? Make sure there's no demons under your bed, no monsters under your bed. If you're gonna wall this, you also have to check under your bed, because what are you defending from here? This is a disaster. He's playing against phantoms. He is walling a side that doesn't matter, but he's making the CA switch. This is very good. To counter the spears, going for the CA switch is nice, but it does feel like our economy now, after we made all those farms, is not really geared towards CA too much. But let's see what you can do. Gonna go light cav and then CA. Why light cav then? Okay, and a TC. TC's good. Okay, I don't like that you made light cav. Generally speaking, you want to commit to only one type of unit as your main army. So you don't want to upgrade the other army too much. Okay, light cav monastery. If we're gonna do this, instead of these two ranges, can I have a TC instead? It's the same cost. It's actually cheaper to make a town center. You need to go for a CA. But now you're doing CA, light cav, and monk. That's way too much. It would have been better to just do CA, screw the light cav, and like just buy, like sell a bit of food or like move some from farms over to gold and then get some CA. Because now we're just going to do both units and they're going to have minimal upgrades. Not ideal. And instead of light cap, buy 100 food and sorry, buy 100 wood, excuse me, and then just get the second wood upgrade. Would be much better. So your goal in castlage, it's worth talking about it right now. And I want this rec to be packed with information for everyone to benefit from. This is I was in the wrong scene. That's very, very smart to do. Alright? Running in and wasting all the army is a very, very good thing to do right before upgrades come in. But that's okay. Let's see what he can do from here. I hope I wasn't on the wrong scene for too long. Should be okay though. And now he's going to be defending from the hill, and you have the castle, which is good. So this is long-term going to be fantastic for us. Hill bonus, castle fire, every fight will go our way. And again, because we have the faster imp, this is much better for us than for our opponents. We have faster imp, and we have the hill. This is how we end games. So now we got to just iron out the comp. So Hussar, CA/Scorpion, and 200 population. Once you have your comp figured out, you just want to get the 200 pop as fast as possible. It's really not that hard. It's hard to do, but it's not hard to know what to do in Imp. But it is hard to do. It's one of the hardest ages to actually play. But I think the theory is a pretty simple, pretty easy concept to understand. So now we got our trebs, and I like that you're attacking with trebs right away, especially if your opponent's castle age. You don't want to wait. I know we have this thing of like don't trickle treb, but I would say that it's actually correct to trickle treb if your opponent is an age below you, if you can't do anything about your treb, because that forces the repairs right away. The not trickle treb is really an imp when both players are 200 pop. It's better to like 4 or 5 trebs go for an attack, because if you trickle treb, it's a bit too easy for your opponent to react to you, okay? So it's important to make that distinction. This is why in Age of Empires, it's good to learn certain rules, but you have to know when to apply them and when, you know, when's the exception, for example. So in this case, the trickle trebbing is actually a really good idea. And this is absolutely horrible. Like, going Cavalier here instead of Hussar, like, my heart is sinking. This is, as a Hera fan that you say you are, right? Maybe after this one, not anymore. I might have to remove you from our little community that we've been building here. Cavalier over Hussar, when you already have a gold in it, is criminal. Like, the Cavalier has the same pierce armor as Hussar. It moves slower. Yes, it has higher attack than this tank here, but it costs 75 gold apiece. And look, oh, no knights. We have 1 knight up. In this case, it's way better to just go Hussar, my man. Hussar, you can send them in. You don't even think about them. You send them in, they die. No problem. We just make more. But Cavalier, they cost so much gold. It feels harder to send them in to snipe siege and whatnot, because it's not like you're not getting the best trades. So in this case, highly recommend you stick to the core. You stick to the principle: 1 gold unit, 1 trash unit, and 1 siege unit. Hussar here would be perfection. Much rather see you get heavy CA, for example. Would be a really good thing to invest into. Opponent has 10 Cavalier here as well. This is rough, and this is rough because we're lacking the production. Nice. Oh, you also get Parthian Tactics as Khmer. What? Their CA are insane. I didn't even know you get Parthian Tactics. Wow, okay, so your CA with Khmer, fantastic. And you get heavy CA, wow. So you only miss Thumbrin. You also get last armor on skirms, I believe. Yeah, you do. Wow, their CA are fantastic then. I need to go Khmer CA more often. Wow, this shit is insane. And you also got Tusk Swords. Elephants as well! What are you doing? You're getting a little bit of everything. Twitz is the guy that walks into a candy shop non-stop tasting. He tries one thing. Ooh, it's good. He goes to try another thing. It doesn't buy any one particular. Just tastes everything. Look, we made Cavalier. We're making just a few. Now we're doing Elite Elephant. We have like 3 stables. So my question here is like, what does an elephant do that a Cavalier isn't already doing? And I think like Hussar is just better than both, no? But that's probably the one good thing you can learn. Like, if there's one thing you take away from this wreck, is in late game, keep your composition as simple as possible and just work on getting to 200 pop. In this situation, if you just had an extra 20 CA, which we already upgraded, instead of the elephant nonsense and Cavalier nonsense, an extra 20 CA, and then 30 Hussar on top of it, extra 20 Hussar, you'd be 200 pop, and you have a very solid composition. With the traps, it's perfect. But now we have a situation where we have a bunch of random stuff. And this is, I see this a lot. I see this a lot across a bunch of different ELOs. So it's not just Twitch, guys. I know you guys are guilty of it. And don't get me wrong, it's really cool to like mix and match. And you're trying a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But in Imperial, it's really good to get like a core comp down, and then just invest into that. Because, or else you're just spending so much on upgrades and not a lot on like units. Like here, we're actually out of gold. We ran out of money. Think of it this way. Instead of Twits just getting, you know, a nice car, all right, and then having enough food for groceries, which are the Hussar in this situation, he bought the steering wheel of a Mercedes, all right, that's the Cavalier upgrade. Then he bought the door of a Lambo, which is the elephants, and the CA are just random car seats. And now he has like half a car of different parts that don't fit together, and he's out of money. He can't finish it. That's what he's got. That's the situation I'm looking at. I would rather you get a nice car, a decent car, not a luxury, a nice car. Got enough money for groceries. You have a place to live. It's proper, Twits. It's proper. What do you do? Look at the Lamborghini door going in. It looks nice. You show it to your friends, and then they kill you. The Lamborghini door dies. Okay, it's not good. Now all the money you spent on the upgrade for what reason? For what reason? You see, I really gotta hammer this idea home because it's so important now. 2600 food. It should be like easy Hussar spam here, right? Easy, like 20 stables. You can make 20 stables and just spam Hussars. And that would be so easy, because now, heavy Scorpion. Okay. Heavy Scorpion. We have no golds. Twits! Don't tell me you're gonna lose this game. Don't tell me you're gonna lose this game, Twits. And opponent, look at opponent just going light cab. Look at this, sturdy, 7 + 7, sturdy. It's a fuel efficient Honda Civic right there. Getting Tigri for some defense. He can spam these light cab all day long, and that light cab is gonna outperform your light cab. And we have all the tech, elephant tech, cavalier tech. Cavalier tech, we don't even hear a whisper from the cavalier department. I'm not even sure if they're even active, if they're gonna make them again. So you went from a completely winning position, but because you didn't ever hit 200 pop, we never were able to go for the win. And now we're at 126 pop, and we're not making a lot of units because we didn't set up a production. We were so busy getting upgrades. We're only on 3 stables, right? And now we're completely running out of steam. Going for another forward castle. I mean, this is fantastic. That's a good castle. Really good castle, actually. But we just don't really have a comp. Oh my god. You got like 2,500 gold out of nowhere. We sold everything. Okay. So maybe you have some hope here. You took a loan from the bank, guys. What can I do? Still, the queue is rough. Now we get the Hussar tech. I guess I'll be happy with that. But still, like the Cavalier and the Elephant tech, the CA tech, we're not using the stuff we're taking into. Nice, extra stables. You know what to do. Deep down inside, Twitch has a conscience. He knows what to do. He knows Hussar is calling him. He hears my voice in the back of his head. He knows the right play is Hussar, and he knows he needs more stables. But he's just distracted going for a few elephants. But those elephants are slapping those. They are solid. And by the way, there's no problem going elephants. Like if you want your main comp to be elephants, there's not a problem with it. You can go elephant plus scorpion, double gold power comp. But in that case, you commit to it. You get 25 elephants, 25 scorpions, a respectable push, and you go down the center. I don't mind that. So I hope you guys understand. It's not like elephants are always the wrong call. Great map control castles, by the way. Those castles are fantastic. If you had the Hussars to run in and snipe the cannons and raid, while you have those castles, you would win the game for sure. Those castles are locking down a big position. So again, the problem is not like inherently elephants are wrong. The problem is elephants out of nowhere and only making a few after getting all those tech. That's what's wrong. So I hope you guys can understand the distinction there. I want to make that clear. Now we're getting siege here. The castle's going to go down. This castle's getting trapped. So we're making great castles, but they just keep going down. Now our opponent's on camel. So even here, heavy Scorpion Hussar is not a bad comp. Again, if you just pick something and get it to 200 pop, I think you can actually just win the game. You just have to like pick something, you know? Good, those scorpions are insane, by the way. I made a few videos on Khmer scorpions. Highly recommend the Khmer to any player, beginner, intermediate, advanced. I think they're an insane civ at the moment. Super, super good. A bunch of elephants going in. Not bad, but elephants with the scorpions together, right? Would be much better. You sent in the elephants by themselves to snipe the shreds. See, this is where it doesn't make sense. If this was Hussar, it would make sense, but this is elephant. They're also a gold unit, so you send in a gold unit to snipe a gold unit. It ends up being just a decent trade, but it's not like a good trade for you, you know? But let's see, elephant scorpion is a really good comp, so now you might actually be clapping here. What's wrong with 20 Hussar, you know? Just getting some Hussar on the field, meat shield for the scorpion, and then a few trebs behind. If you do all that with a castle behind it, which you had the situation earlier, you'd be absolutely golden. You would destroy him. Again, you have enough for like 30 Hussar. 30 Hussar, meat shield the pike, stay on the hill. You can see how your composition is not functioning correctly because you don't have like the same units out in the same, the right units out at the same time. And you're fighting well, actually. Your fighting is not the issue. You actually take good fights. Like backing up the scorpions, hitting, sniping the siege. Doing well with the fights. It's just the indecision that's killing you. Crab shot goes for the castle. Maybe a cannon snipe? No. Goes down. All that gold we got is now gone. I'm so demoralized. All the scorpions are just dead. So generally speaking, you want to have like a massive gold unit that just doesn't die. Like scorpions with CA at the back that you protect. 30 scorpions, 30 CA. That's how I play. I keep them protected. And then with the Hussar in front, the trash unit, that's what the one I sent to snipe siege, the one I sent to raid, the one I meat shield with. It's the unit that's replaceable, you know? And again, the castles are fire. Are you gonna win this game? 136 pop. Imagine just an extra 50 Hussar. Imagine if we had 50 Hussar in our opponent's base right here. Just to put our pop at the same as his. It would be fantastic. It would be game winner, actually. Because this castle is doing so much. It's killing the pikemen as they come out. It's denying the gold. It's on a hill. It's blocking down this portion of the map. Now it's just a population thing with you, Twits. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit here, because I think it's been more of the same for a little bit. Do a good job sniping the siege. Look at the Hussars that they run in. Look at that. Very good. Very nice. Hussar sends them in and snipes the siege. That's exactly what I want to see here. And this army of scorpions, I can tell you, one ram, okay. Yo, a ram can go unchecked and kill a castle. Like the other day, I almost killed a castle with 3 wood raiders unchecked. We're gonna look back at that ram. Sometimes they don't watch it. They don't know it's there. We'll look back at that ram in a second. Good waves with the Hussar. It's just a matter of more pop. Again, you're in a rush to fight here. But what I would tell you, Twits, instead of being in a rush to fight with the trebs and looking to push, is forget that for a second. Make some vills, make some extra vills. Get your pop to 200 as fast as possible. So make vills, make army. Don't fight until 200 pop, unless you have to. But here, you're on the offensive. You're choosing to fight with that 200 pop. It's like, okay, you don't have a lot of money, right? And your friends make a plan to go out to eat, a nice place. Like, okay, you go, and now since you were invited, you kind of feel like you have to go. But here it's like, you have no money, all right? Or you have a little bit, and then you're the guy making all the plans. Let's go here, let's go there, let's do this, let's do that, let's travel. You're not even 200 pop. You're making all of these plans. Send 2 trebs here, let's go visit a castle and maybe knock it down. Let's send some Hussars to raid some guy's economy. You don't even have the funds to sustain this. Whereas if you just wait for 200 pop and then launch an offensive, you can actually sustain it. And it could be a much better long-term strat. Good job on murder holes though. On that note, good job on murder holes. Love that tech. Underrated, by the way. I made a whole video on YouTube about murder holes. Love that tech so much. A lot of people don't expect it. It pops off. It gets you so much value for how cheap it is. And so far, the MVP has just been your castles on hills. They've just been so good. Sneaky stable. Hussar everywhere, which is good. So you like the Hussar. But you had to visit the elephants and the cavalier first. You have 2 relics as well, so you have some golden coming. And by the way, as soon as you realize that, as soon as you guys listen to me, by the way, and you just realize 1 gold in it, you pick a gold in and commit to it. And if you need to do a tech transition for a really good specific reason, sure, do it. But most of these tech transitions you guys do are like for nonsense, right? So pick 1 gold unit and then spam trash units and get all upgrades. If you do that and you keep your pop at 200 and your Vulcan high, and then you get these nice castles, you'll realize how easy it is to win games. And how easy it is. Because you're gonna have, like, you didn't lose any vills, you're not getting raided. Imagine instead of 114, you had 140. But you have the pop for it. You'd have way more res. You'd have way more output. You're sending in waves and waves of Hussar in your opponent's base, and you can sustain it. And that's basically what I want to see. Keep doing what you're good at, which is the fight and the pressure, and just fix what's going on at home to enable you to do more of what you're good at. And it's gonna be more fun, by the way. You're gonna have a better time doing it for both Twits and anyone watching. All right, Cavalier running through the hole that we never plugged. Very nice. Opponent dealing with this side. But when he deals with that side, yeah, the right side's wide open. We're gonna raid him. Excellent. He's gonna go champion, by the way. That's not good. I don't think it's a good option at all. Champion from Malian's kind of died to Hussar spam. Now we're making some elephants. And the reason why it doesn't make sense to make elephants here with our gold, by the way, is that elephants don't counter pikemen. The whole point of your gold unit is supposed to be like the damage dealer, right? Or like the main unit that you have. But if the main unit we have is dying to his trash units, and like we don't have an answer to his trash unit, and like no skirmish or nothing, then something's wrong. So in this case, the gold unit should be like heavy score, but you have the upgrades for, or heavy CA, which you also have the upgrades for. Look, you're making elephants for running away from pikes. Something's wrong here, but we're running so fast. Convert elephants. How fast are they? 1.07, 1.09, 110. Wow, they're just as fast as the pikemen. It's crazy. Crop rotation. Yeah, but now it's rough. Now it's rough. Why did you put yourself through these like grueling late games, Twits? I need to save you some time. This game could have been over. Now we're just in a grueling late game where we can lose so easily, you know? We might even be dead. Fast forward a little bit. The raids are coming in, okay? 117 pop. Like, we're actually kind of toast. So many pipes on the field as well. Wow. And this is literally another transition. We're gonna go pikeman ourselves. Wow. This is literally just because we spent our gold on elephants. We need to spend our gold on nothing but scorpion or heavy CA. One of them, one of the two even, and then hussars. And you can watch the Khmer games I played on YouTube recently. I'm doing exactly that as my late game Kong, and it's perfect. Like, why would you want anything else even? Hold on, counter raid with the hussars. Holy, this game is epic. Going for the gold, okay. Knocked out his monastery, which is really good. I think Khmer Hussar is a bit weaker than Malian Lightcap, but it's like playable because you have better economy. But yeah, Malian Lightcap is quite good. And you see how good the scorpions are, by the way. Like, every single time you've had a massive scorpions on the field, it's been doing work. Like, look at this. How? How what, Twits? How what? We never hit 200 pop. How did we never hit 200 pop? How now? Oh, what? Okay, okay. I don't know what he said, but... Wow, that censored? Oh, he probably didn't say anything bad. Yeah, they censor like random stuff here. GG. And we call it GG. We don't know how that happened. Well, listen, I don't even have to spend too much time repeating myself. The rec itself with my commentary will show you exactly what went wrong, exactly how that happened. And I'm so happy you had that reaction because it shows that you don't know what went wrong. And this is, I need to make a video about this. This is the #1 thing that makes people hard stuck. This is why I'm a huge fan of review your own games. Think about your mistakes and see what went wrong. If you don't know what went wrong, get someone else to help you. Either it's coaching service, it's a friend that's higher elo, it's a guy in the community that can look at the rec and tell you what went wrong. It's me. Whatever you get, just get someone to look at the rec for you and tell you what you did wrong so you don't build on bad habits. And here I highlighted tons and tons of your bad habits. Like, just off the top of my head, if you work on your early game, get a faster castlage. If you make use of your army a bit more in castlage so you don't camp it too long. And then if you get to 200 pop with a good base imp composition, 1 food unit, 1 gold unit, and 1 siege unit, that's good against buildings. If you get that composition down, you would win so many games. And you just get to 200 pop, you'd win so many games because you're fighting well. Like, you did so well despite being like maximum 170 pop all game. Mostly you're hovering around 140, wasting your gold on all kinds of upgrades. If you just did what I suggested, and I hope you do in the future, you're gonna have a much better time. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. This rec review will help a ton of people because these are classic mistakes that Twits has made that a bunch of you guys are making, be it less than 1100 elo or more than 1100 elo. You guys are usually making something similar, within reason. Obviously the 2K players usually don't make these same mistakes, but all the way up until like 1600, I can imagine some of these mistakes are still being made. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you guys did enjoy the game. I'm going to quickly show you guys the stats so you guys can enjoy those briefly. And I'll see you guys in the next video. But before I leave, make sure to check out my Twitch for my live streaming. I love to see new faces. And check out my Patreon for all the extensive guides to get better. And there's a lot of other services there, builders, whatnot, that you guys can check out. Links to both Twitch and Patreon in the description below. And until next time, peace and have a great rest of your day.